can't tell you this when you dream of becoming a cabin crew that this job just don't change your lifestyle, but it changes you. So my name is Atira Rajendran and I've been a cabin crew for over a decade, and I make videos on cabin crew lifestyle and helping aspirants who wants to be a cabin crew. So if your interest is in any of these, you can consider subscribing to my channel. So today I am going to tell you guys about something that nobody have told me before I joined aviation, and perhaps nobody is going to tell you as well. So here I am going to discuss these things about cabin crew job. So when I joined aviation back in the days, I, like many people out there, was thinking like this job is going to give me an awesome lifestyle. A lifestyle in which I get to travel around the world, where I get to stay at 5-star hotels, and then I get to wear the uniform that I'm proud of. Yes, I get to do all of these things. But little did I know that this is just one side of the story, and there is another side, a considerable larger side of my job, which was really demanding. Little did I know that I was signing up for something really huge. I was signing up for really maturing and growing fast. No one have told me how emotionally demanding this job was. You are there to absorb the fear, absorb the frustration, the anger of the people. You're absorbing all these things. Meanwhile, you are staying calm and you can never lose your composure. So this is such a challenging thing. And over the period of time, what you do, you will learn to handle all these things. You will never lose your composure whatsoever the other person is doing. You will never mirror his or her emotion. You will be very calm. You will be a person with a lot of composure. A lot of times, I not only in my flights, otherwise also I feel like I'm really not that anxious when compared to other people. So one interesting story that comes to my mind is I was traveling from Delhi to Trivandrum. So you go on this week-long pattern, and you will be doing like early morning flights or late night flights, so your sleep pattern goes on for a toes, and then you come back to your base. So it was one such time. I was coming from Delhi back to my base in Trivandrum. So it was monsoon time and the flight was really turbulent, and in the middle I was sleeping. The one thing that if I'm not working, the moment I board the flight, I go off to sleep. So as usual, I was sleeping that day as well. It was monsoon time also. In the mid-flight, we faced very violent kind of turbulence, and everywhere screaming, somewhere chanting prayers, and all this commotion was going on. I got up, I see what is happening, and then I went back to sleep. So there was one elderly couple who was sitting next to me. So after all the commotion, and finally we landed back, so that uncle was telling me, "आप इतना कैसे सो सकते हैं?" So I was like, हाँ सही है यार, इतना कैसे सो सकते हैं? Everybody was so much worried, so much anxious, and I was not giving any shit about all the things that is going on. But I didn't know whether to take it as a compliment or not. But you are really positive people, so I did take it as a compliment. So the thing I want to put across over here is yes, I do get anxious, but deep in my mind, I know that I can't be anxious in those situations, because you are the person who is supposed to take care of situations of this sort. So whenever situations of this comes, you are very calm and composed, because you need to tackle all these things. In my real life also, after all these years, I came to understand for everything and anything there is a solution, and you can't achieve anything by being anxious or being scared of the situation. Any which ways, you have to tackle that. So that is the reason why you are not that anxious when compared to other people. That is one thing my job have taught me against. So another bad thing about the job, and this everybody used to tell, is you miss a lot of important things. You're never home for any of the festivals. You miss all the birthdays and maybe your anniversary. So whatsoever is important to you, you are born to miss, especially the festival season. People travel a lot, and it is you who is supposed to take them back home. So you are never home. That is the thing with celebrations and festivals. So this is one thing that is challenging, but over the period of time you get used to it. I don't know whether you believe me, but since I've been in aviation, this is the first New Year, first ever New Year I can say that I'm celebrating back home. New Year's, particularly, you will never get leave. You will be flying, you will be somewhere, some outstation or something of that sort. So this is the first ever New Year that I get to celebrate in all these years, but unfortunately, I had a fracture and again, I couldn't celebrate like all the years. So one thing become a very normal thing for you, like I always do is like if some festival is coming up, say Diwali is coming up. So what I do, Diwali obviously I'll be somewhere else. So I'll be doing a photo shoot, I'll keep it and I will post Diwali pictures sitting in some part of the world, some hotel, some unknown hotel, and then you post it. That will become a really normal things. You can miss holidays, but you can hardly miss, the post that you're supposed to make in your Instagram, right? Yes. So that become a normal thing for you. Another thing is solitude. For many people, sitting alone in a restaurant and having food may be one of the most awkward experiences of their life. But being a cabin crew, that is not. It is your everyday experience, I'm telling. I'm not even exaggerating because, if you're going on a pattern, every day, each meal of the day, you will be having alone. It kind of become normal to you and you become very independent person. Even if you want to step out, even if you want to go out and have something, you don't expect company. So you become very independent at a very young age, I can say, because most of the people join aviation at a very young age. So this is a very good thing that initial period only you will get very bored and you will get very independent in your life. Another thing is nothing in aviation is constant. So aviation is one thing that is constantly changing. So if you are in aviation, you really need to adapt fast to all these things. You really need to be agile over here. So one example that I can tell you is like when I joined aviation, we never used to, the use of technology was very minimal. We never used to get our roster in phone or something like that. We used to get a printed paper of our roster for the whole month and the changes they used to intimate it via phone calls. And now to that, we are checking our roster every now and then in our phone. So that much is the change that I've seen in aviation. And over this period of time, earlier you were never sending any emails or something of that sort. Email was not a part of our culture. And now for everything and anything, email has become the primary channel of communication. So all these things you have to adopt. A lot of things have come ever since I joined aviation. Previously everything was very slow. This job just don't give you confidence, but it changes your lifestyle as such and your personality as well. So you started trusting your instincts and you can handle pressure with ease and grace. And this is not just for your flights, but for your whole life. As I've told you, this will percolate in your lifestyles and it just stays there. So when I joined aviation, I remember my instructor told me, I was in training and my instructor was telling me all these things like, there are a lot of things that this job will teach you and that will make you a different person. And he was telling me punctuality is one thing that this job taught him. And I was a person who was never punctual, and I was also hoping that this job will teach me punctuality. Yes, it did. I am never late for my flight. I'm super punctual for my flight. I reach well before the time. I sit there and then I do my things at answer and all. But that is one thing that never percolated into my lifestyle. Everywhere else, I'm still late. So, I'm still learning. I'm still in the aviation. I'm still learning. So I hope that, once the job will teach me punctuality in my lifestyle as well. So that is it. So this job, if you're willing to change, it teaches you a lot of things. All of those aspirants, I just want to tell one thing. So if you are planning to join aviation just for the lifestyle, just for the things, the upar ka thing that you see, then just pause. This is highly demanding. This requires a lot of things. It's emotionally demanding. It needs you to change your lifestyle, your sleep pattern and all those things. But if you're willing to do that, if you're open to change, this job will teach you a lot of things and it will make you a person, a grounded and self-aware person. So if you're ready for the challenge, no one can stop joining an aviation. Actually, you're not joining an airline, you're just signing up for a new lifestyle or new way of life, I can say. that is all for the video, guys. So before signing off, I just want to tell you, it's like I'm really grateful for all those things this job has given me, and also for having seen the golden era of aviation. And one thing from my experience that I can tell you is like, flights change, sectors change, the kind of workload will change, your uniform changes, everything will change. But your kindness, the professionalism, all those basic soft skills always remain, and that is what matters in aviation. So that is it for today, guys. I hope you did like the video, and if you did, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. And my top mate, if you are interested in aviation jobs and all, if you're interested in being a cabin crew, you can even check out my top mate, where I give personalized interview feedbacks, personalized, you and me sit down and make your CV and all. You can check that out as well. That is all for today, guys. Bye bye and take care.